Alright, so I just actually changed spark plugs on this thing. I had a slight little misfire. I was going to take a video of doing that just to have some more footage. I figured I'm going to do a walkthrough of this just like I did with the Miata, but there's kind of less to show on this. There's a lot done to the car, but there's less to actually see. But the battery in the GoPro is dead, so it's running smooth now, so that's good. So it was just spark plugs. But yeah, we'll try to go over everything I can remember that's actually done to the car. Let's see. Well, you can't really see. It's got a Forge intercooler with the Forge hard piping. Let's see. I've got an FS Works Cool Flow intake, I think it's called. Car has a Garrett GTX 2867 turbo, which I'm not even going to try to show you. It's in the back. It has a stratified port fueling injection kit, which has a couple injectors that are down here next to the throttle body. I also have water meth injection that's being sprayed at the throttle body as well. The car is tuned on both 93 and then an E40 blend. So I'll usually do just half and half just to make sure I'm safe. So it's got all four of the direct injectors, the two port injectors at the throttle body, and then just a small, I think 300cc water meth kit on it as well. I've got poly engine mounts. You can see one there, and then other mounts somewhere underneath there. You can't see it. And then a custom rear motor mount that's solid. See, it's got a short shift kit on it, which I think is a Steeda. I have a Boomba plate there to delete the sound composer. The engine itself popped. I melted ringland on cylinder number 1. Yeah. So I did this. Let's see. Yeah. So this is the original piston for cylinder 1, the tiny little rods. So I melted this back in 2014, and when it melted, I decided it was like a month after I put the turbo on. I was too lazy to swap it back to try to get a warranty, so I decided just to build it. So now the car has it's a stock crank that's keyed. It's got a really weird timing system on this. It doesn't work. So we keyed the crank, but other than that, it's stock. Has Potter X-beam rods. Has Ross Racing pistons. I think it's bored like 20 over, if I remember, just to clean up the cylinder walls. Head has a little bit of porting done to it. Factory cams, cleaned up valves. And then, let's see, a balance shaft delete and an oil pan baffle. Pretty much what make up inside the engine. Then, let's see here, stock suspension still. The front has stock size brakes, but Hawk pads. I didn't really go anything crazy yet because at the time when I did the brakes, I was thinking about possibly still leaving brakes that I could run a smaller size wheel to if I wanted to go to the drag strip. These are 18 by 8.5 RPF ones that are wrapped in some 255 Federals. Eventually I'm going to go to a better tire, but these were just cheap that I knew I could get some mileage out of before going on the rally. Let's see here. Oh, it's got a full MBRP turbovac exhaust. I have sway bars in the house for it. I've never put those on yet. I think that's about it. It's an ST2. So I've got these Recaros with the blue inserts. Everything in here is pretty much stock. I've got an access port, which I've got tuned through Dead Hook. They're local and helped fix some things with the car, helped tune it. And then after I originally had the engine built, I was having some issues with the their fuel ratio. So I've got a AAM wideband up on the dash here. Everything's now squared away. Originally we had ported the engine, or ported the head too much, and we actually screwed up the way that the combustion worked inside the cylinder, so I had to get a new head on it and report that head. Let's see. Oh, one other thing I forgot, the trans, it's got a Clutch Masters clutch on it, and a wave track diff inside. So yeah, stock suspension, body is all stock, interior is all stock, outside of having the access port mounted in, the gauge up there. I've got my meth controller sitting down over here in the passenger footwell. Otherwise, yeah, it's everything's basically in the engine bay of work that I've done to it. On 93, before adding meth to it, on 93 the car made 360 horsepower. I can't remember the torque. And then on the E40 blend, the car made 398 horsepower and 370 foot-pounds. So I haven't dynoed it after putting the meth on it, but I'm hoping that it's just a touch over 400. Yeah, originally bought this car as a fun daily, and then I was still dailying it when I swapped the turbo, and then it blew up, and then decided to build it, so it's no longer a daily, just kind of a fun weekend car. I've taken on the rally, haven't really done much else to it. I originally wanted to start tracking this car, but now with the power to the front wheels and just being front wheel drive, I'd rather just have it just be a fun street car, and then focus on the Miata for a track car. I just realized too, while it's running, I might as well pull it in the garage, maybe rev it up a couple times. Eventually, once weather changes, I'll do a better exhaust fit on this, as well as the Miata. Pretty typical exhaust. I went with one that has two mufflers because I originally had a custom exhaust that was too loud. Yeah, I'll go ahead and close up the hood, pull it in, maybe rev it up a little bit, and that'll be the end of this one. One other thing I forgot too, while I'm thinking about it, it has a Turbo Smart race port blow-off valve. So let's see if we can get